Infinite supreme peace to all the divine souls. Today's subject: aliens, alien abductions, and the truth behind such incidents. The secrets of the pyramids, Kailash Temple, Ellora, great scientists of the world and their connections with aliens. So let's start it. Abductions by aliens and related truths. What is the mystery behind alien abductions? Today on the internet we read a lot about abductions of humans by extraterrestrial, and those abducted human species are subjected to physical and psychological experiments. There have been many reports not only about the abduction of humans by aliens but also about the abduction of various animals such as cattle, and later when the abduction's purpose was over, they were returned back to the same location from where they were abducted before. The mystery behind the kidnapping of the cow by aliens has been explained by Bapuji. In our Sanatan Hindu Dharma, cow is revered like a mother. A cow is also referred to as Kamdhenu, which means a cow that fulfills all the material desires and wishes. So, in order to carry out research and study the nature of such divinity in cow, aliens usually abduct the cow for some temporary period or take away some part of the cow. Their motive is to conduct live experiments on the cows. The main purpose behind human abductions by the extraterrestrial is to perform research on the human DNA and to refine the DNA of those humans whose ancestors from higher dimensions had once upon a time come onto the earth and left their creations, but at present their creations are trapped on the earth in human forms. In order to study and analyze the DNA of such human beings, to enhance the power of DNA for the betterment of human life, to make them more resilient against disease, and to increase their immunity levels, aliens abduct humans into their spacecraft. Basically, aliens want to help mankind. In our Shastras, there are many accounts or stories where the gods would come to earth and marry the women of the earth. Their main purpose is to create a human civilization that is the best version of alien, godly, and humanity. Area 51. Area 51 is a secret US Air Force military base located at Groom Lake in southern Nevada, 83 miles, 134 kilometers northwest of Las Vegas. The mystery of Area 51 is a secret and linked to aliens. Area 51 has been at the focus due to numerous incidents involving extraterrestrial life. Thought it has been officially confirmed as being used as a flight testing facility by the American government. The facility is believed to have conducted many experiments on aliens from different star systems. As far back as the 1950s, people have reported seeing unidentified flying objects (UFO) at the southern Nevada military base of Area 51. Alien researchers believe that the remains of crashed UFO spacecraft are stored at Area 51, where the American government scientists reverse engineer the aliens' highly advanced technology. The indication for this came from a variety of UFO sightings in the area and the testimony of a retired army colonel who says he was granted access to extraterrestrial material collected from an alien spacecraft that crashed in July 1947 in Roswell, New Mexico. Bapuji has said that all the claims about alien visitations and experiments carried out in Area 51 are totally true. The aliens do not want humanity to face another nuclear war because a nuclear explosion will not only affect the earth but also have a serious and negative impact on the entire creation. There have been some incidents reported where extraterrestrial flying in their UFOs are not only visiting Earth but also hovering around British and American nuclear missile sites and deactivating them temporarily. Many countries have knowledge and evidence about aliens, UFOs, and extraterrestrial civilizations, but the government of these countries keep it a secret from the general public. Okay, now the secret of the pyramids. The creation of pyramids is always a mystery. Bapuji has said that pyramids are intricately connected to extraterrestrial intelligent life or aliens. Scientists also partly agree with this fact. They also agree that the structure of the pyramid is unique. The pyramids found around the world, such as those in Italy, Giza, Sudan, China, Indonesia, or South America, are of similar pattern structure even though there was no means of communication at the time. As it is today, there was no high tech to travel from one place to another. So the question arises that in the absence of the advanced equipment and high technology required to transport all these materials needed to the building site, how did the Grand Pyramids get built about 3,800 years ago? The pyramids of Giza in Egypt are one of the 7 wonders of the world, and 2.3 million stones were used to build these pyramids, each stone weighing approximately 2,700 kilograms to 17,000 kilograms. The modern days cranes used in the construction of enormous buildings can lift a maximum of about 20,000 kilograms. Therefore, the question arises, how did these large stones got well laid out on top of each other during the pyramid construction? The stones are laid so closely and so precisely that not a single strand of human hair can penetrate beneath them. They are made shock-proof, earthquake-proof, and the design as well as the structure is flawless and precise. The ancient Egyptian pyramids of Giza were built between 2580 to 2560 BC. Archaeologists and historians alike are perplexed as to how these gigantic structures were built at that time, and therefore one jumps to the conclusion that it is undoubtedly built by the aliens or with their help. An interesting fact here is that there are a considerable number of images and etching of UFOs, spaceships, and aliens inside many of the pyramids. In this book, we have already talked about the indigo child, Borishka, who had originally come from the planet Mars. Borishka claims that the secret of the red planet Mars lies in Egypt. According to Borishka, the ancient people from Mars planet had visited Egypt as well as helped in the construction of the pyramids of Giza and Sphinx in Egypt. These two treasures of Egypt are directly linked to the Mars planet, and there is not enough research done on this matter. Borishka claims that there is a way to unlock the Great Sphinx, a mythical creature with the head of a man and the body of a lion, by using a particular device or special mechanism behind the ear of the statue so that its secret can be uncovered. He claims to have an episode in the previous life in which he was the pilot of the interspace travel and flew over ancient Egypt in his plane. Borishka says that once the secrets of the Great Sphinx are revealed to humankind, life on Earth will change forever. Bapuji says that the history of the existence of pyramids is not recent, but they are in existence for millions of years. Pyramids have been around from the ancient time of the gods and goddesses. Massive-sized pyramids and huge temples were built by the deities first in the subtle world. Later on, gradually the subtle form of pyramids, converted into gross form. For example, in Mahabharata, there is a story in which the mighty evil king Jarasandh mounted attacks on Sri Krishna at Mahabharat 17 times. Even though he had lost all these wars, he always allied with the other kings to attack Sri Krishna, who resided at Mathura. The Lord understood that unless he goes away from Mathura, the evil Jarasandh would never stop attacking him, and the residents of Mathura will never be able to stay in peace. So, with the intention of saving his pupil, Lord Krishna and the Yadavas decided to move the capital from Mathura to a distant place. Sri Krishna then sent a message to the chief of the architects residing in the subtle world, the highly skilled Vishwakarma, and requested him to construct a beautiful city by a mere sankalp or a powerful thought. Vishwakarma created the golden city of Dwarka out of supreme elements in the subtle dimension first. At first, there was nothing but the sea, and so Krishna prayed to Sagar Devta. Sea is considered as a deity in ancient scriptures to provide him with land for the city. It is said that the Sagar Devta was pleased with Krishna's request and gave Krishna 12 yojanas of sea land, which is 773 square kilometers, to build his city. Thereafter, Vishwakarma built Dwarka on this land. However, the process of creation initially took place in a subtle form. Firstly, Vishwakarma created the image of the city in his mind, and then after that, with a powerful sankalp, he created Dwarka city with the supreme elements: supreme air, supreme ether, and supreme fire elements. These are supreme elements. In the subtle dimensions, he created. The environment of Dwarka city was dazzling with a golden aura, as it was made of supreme elements. Thus, the city is also called the Golden City of Dwarka or Sone ki Dwarka. After many years, the quality of supreme elements in Dwarka started to decline gradually. The supreme elements now turned into three elements, and as the ages passed, these three elements structures later on became gross or physical stones. According to Bapuji, the pyramids were first created in the subtle dimension with the power of thoughts. These pyramids were constructed using the supreme elements, and after passage of many years, the supreme elements transformed into the three subtle elements, which continued to decline with the passage of age. Finally, the three elements of the pyramids became the gross five elements that we see today as solid pyramidal structures, the specially and uniquely designed grand pyramids, and the magnificent temples that we see today as physical structures were all initially built with supreme and subtle elements. The pyramids and temples were built on earth by the gods and highly powerful aliens in order to facilitate communication between the earth and higher worlds. The pyramids were built by aliens. At the center of the pyramids, the ether element was channelized to enter the pyramid building, and this power from the other world would empower and recharge the human soul present in the pyramid, so that he would get several thousand times power inside himself. Hundreds and thousands of years ago, the pyramids were the energy centers for the people of that land. In fact, it was a place where people would meditate collectively. They would harness sound energy through specific sound or mantras, and by increasing the focus of their thoughts, they could communicate with the souls of other worlds or higher dimensions. By using the power of the earth's gravity, the ancient people could also harness electricity through the pyramids. The center of the pyramids was the center of activity, where ancient people used to send various types of radio waves. or radio signals to the subtle dimension. In those times, UFOs were a common feature of interdimensional travel, so that pyramids were used a signaling tower and also to provide a landing base for the flying spaceships of the gods and goddesses from the subtle world. In some cultures, the pyramids were used to bury the dead body called mummies. Even today, there are many secrets that are still enclosed within the pyramids. Okay, next topic is Kailash Temple, Ellora. The world famous Ellora caves and Kailash Temple are located in Aurangabad district in the state of Maharashtra, India. These caves are one of the largest rock-cut Hindu temple complexes in the world, and they feature Buddhist and Jain monuments with artwork dating from the period 600 to 1000 AD. The Ellora caves were constructed by cutting off tons of rocks from large boulders and stones. In this way, 34 caves were constructed, out of which the 16th cave contains the wonderful Kailash temple. The magnificence of this multi-storied temple complex lies in the fact that it has been carved out of a single large rock. Another interesting fact about the construction of this temple is that it was chiseled starting from the top part of the rock and then downwards. Normally, in the creation of any rock sculpture, the usual practice is to work starting from the foundation or from the bottom portion and then moving to the upward portions. However, in this case, the Kailash temple was strangely carved by using a single rock starting from the top part and then working towards the downward portion or base. To date, archaeologists have not been able to ascertain the exact time of the construction of this temple. Bapuji has said that the Kailash temple dedicated to Lord Shiva is approximately 25,000 years old. In order to construct this temple, 4 lakh tons of rock were cut out from the center and then the constructions began. As per archaeologists and geologists, the pieces of rocks that would have resulted from cutting the rock during constructions cannot be found even up to miles away from the temple location. So the question arises, how were the rocks carved from the top when there were no heavy cranes or machineries capable of lifting and cutting such a huge rocks at the time? How did they remove the rocks from the site of construction? It's been said that there is an underground city beneath the temple. In 1682, the ruler of that time, the Mughal king Aurangzeb, had hired about 1,000 armies to destroy the Kailash temple, and these men worked continuously for 3 years but could not destroy the temple except for damage at some places. When the Mughal emperor realized that he could not destroy the temple, he then dropped the idea of destroying the temple and stopped the work on it. The question arises that if the temple was so difficult to destroy, then how did common people build such a big and beautiful temple at that time? Even in today's time, it is impossible to build something like the Kailash temple, even using the high technology and sophisticated techniques. In all this, one fact definitely stands out, that the civilization which built the Kailash temple at Ellora was far more advanced than it is today. There are many videos of Bapuji on these topics and about extraterrestrial, which is available to everyone on our official YouTube channel bapujidashrathbhaipatel. These videos will help us to understand the secrets of alien connection in depth. This divine supreme infinite knowledge is given us by Bapuji. His main YouTube channel is bapujidashrathbhaipatel. Thank you, infinite supreme peace, to all the divine souls. Param Shanti, it means eternal peace.